Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of Etiquette Conversations with EFI and Shirley, but our first episode for the year 2025. We are so thrilled to start the year with you and with a topic that's at the heart of all interactions: respect. The foundations of respect, building relationships that last. Respect is universal. It is timeless and essential for building the relationships that last. Yet, in today's fast paced world and divisive world, we lose sight of its importance. Respect is a universal value that transcends cultures, backgrounds, and social settings. However, today its significance is often overlooked. But you know what? That's good news, because respect is a skill we can cultivate, nurture, and practice. It's not just about what we say or do, it's about how we make others feel. Respect isn't something that we simply have or don't have, it's a way of being that we can choose to practice daily. When we cultivate respect, we open doors to deeper interactions and connections, healthier communications, and fulfilling relationships. It's not just about saying the right things, it's about making others feel valued, making them seen and heard. But before we delve more into this topic, I'd like to call on my co host, Shirley. Shirley, respect is such a broad concept, and I know we've often discussed how respect shapes our interactions. As we kick off this year's theme, how would you define respect? And why do you think it's essential in today's society? How would you also describe its significance in our modern world?
Good morning, everybody, and hello 2025. And thank you, Effie, for this lovely introduction and for selecting a subject that we both love and we would love to share with other people.
Mm.
Indeed, respect is a broad subject and it's a lifestyle and it's a mindset. And how can we elaborate on that today? And hopefully, every one of our viewers and listeners could come out with one or two ideas, and that's enough per conversation. So, how important is respect? Respect is a fundamental pillar in the architecture of any human relationship. What kind of relationship? It could be an intimate relationship, it could be corporate relationship, it could be a relationship at the level political level, or an official relationship. Respect is needed. It is, as we said, it's a pillar, it's a bedrock upon which relationship is built on trust. So respect is trust. Trust in what? Making people trust us, and us, we trust people and we acknowledge them. We acknowledge their needs, we acknowledge their freedom, therefore we respect them, or we respect their freedom. Okay, that is the significance of respect, but how do we manifest it in our everyday life? Let's apply it to situations which makes it easy for our viewers and listeners to understand our idea. First of all, um, in daily life, respect is needed between husband and wife. That is for sure. Or in couple, for couples. A conflict is solved much better if there is mutual respect. If there is no respect, a conflict remains the same and gets worse. How do we manifest it? Of course, in the dialogue. I think personally that the art of listening is a very important element in respect. If we talk to people and we show them that we listen to them, we listen to acknowledge, we listen to understand, and we listen to feel for them. And we use those interesting words like I hear you, I understand you. And then we ask questions. So my listening came across to the person in front of me. I am respecting him or respecting
mm,
her. So that
mm,
is very important. So listening comes with a package of body language cues, which we have covered before, and we don't mind elaborating together on it. It's very, very important. So that's an important part of the conversation, which is part of course, respect. Respect is at every level. Now we covered the level of home. Let's cover more in the level of respect at home is how to prepare our children. Now this is a message to parents and to tutors, how to instill respect into the young generation and prepare them to become citizens of the world and to develop their social skills, to develop their social intelligence. It comes, first of all, by giving the good example. We know that children mimic and imitate anything they see. Unfortunately, this is it. So one has to be very careful. Parents have to be very careful. Children, as if they have a camera and they watch and they repeat the same language. They repeat the same gestures and the same movements. So by giving them the good example of respecting diversity, respecting other races, respecting people, respecting the vendors, selecting words, using positive words, being positive. All these things are moved to the children and we prepare them to become respectful. But again, to become respectful, children to need to be given trust. Meaning what? We listen to them, we listen to their presence, we give them chance to express themselves and we correct them. This is just of course, but we cannot say children are to be kept quiet. No. And then we invite them to participate in situations and occasions through which they are exposed to diversity, through which they develop their own empathy. So
mm,
we give them a small role in that. So that is developing the self-respect and respect to others, and
mm,
self-worth and worth of others. So that
mm,
is very, very important to prepare children and to spread a mood of respect. Now
mm,
that is at the level of family. What about a higher level in a company and or a country? I believe that embracing diversity and embracing other cultures and accepting them to make a wider interconnected society is a kind of respect to the individuals. When we embrace for companies, when they embrace other diversity, could it be other religions, other colors, other new genders, diversity, new socio-economical levels. Diversity could cover everything, and therefore the society becomes bigger and
mm,
interconnected, the society of the company, and that
mm,
company becomes stronger because there's a diversity of cultures. They can
mm,
see other cultures through the eyes of many, many people. That makes them stronger. At the level of countries, diversity, embracing diversity is respecting humanity, respecting individuals, and therefore its power. So respect is a mindset at every level, and it is to be acquired, it is to be developed. Like I would not wish that people would say, oh my god, I'm not doing this, how will I start? No, indeed, there are theories to follow and there are steps to follow. Like teaching children, how do they learn? They learn by role play, by situation with the parents, by reading books, by watching and observing. We all watch and observe and learn as long as the mindset is there. I hope
ah,
I've covered a little bit that subject, the wide subject, which is positive, which is based on authenticity, on appreciation of each others. On empathy, empathy is a very important part of um, um, respect, empathy, and transparency. If a
mm,
person is transparent and clear,
mm,
he is also respecting others. We have to know, and this is boundaries. If a person respect the boundaries of others, now
mm,
others, not everyone has got the same comfort zone or the same
mm,
level. We have to learn to listen to others and and respect their needs and not impose my habits on them regard
mm,
vis-a-vis many situations like the comfort zone, like the space between physical space between people, like touching each other. Some people do not like touching, so let's not impose our habits on them, like asking personal questions. All these are boundaries to be respected,
mm,
to be
mm,
acknowledged,
mm.
and to be
Right,
honored, which means honoring people.
right, right.
It's human,
Thank you
it's
very
being
much.
human.
Thank you very much, Shirley. You've really touched the heart of respect. Now, from cultural divides to everyday understandings, misunderstandings, the
Mhm,
absence of respect often leads to unnecessary tensions. By
mhm.
grounding ourselves in respect, we can foster cooperation, reduce conflicts, and build relationships that not only last, but relationships that thrive. Respect goes beyond surface level politeness. In its simplest form, respect is the acknowledgement of another person's inherent worth. It means listening attentively, appreciating differences, and treating others with dignity.
Absolutely. Mhm.
But respect isn't just an abstract concept, it's something that can be actively practiced. For example, listening carefully when someone is speaking shows that you respect their time and their thoughts. Avoiding interruptions shows that you value their opinion and their space to share.
Absolutely.
Acknowledging someone's feelings in a disagreement shows that you value their emotional experience, even if you don't agree with their point of view. Respect is also about nonverbal cues. It's eye contact, it's body language, it's courtesy, and your tone of voice are all ways that you can show respect to someone without saying a word. Now, let's talk about respect and why it matters in our society today. Respect is foundational in all aspects of life, whether in the home, workplace, or social settings. It is the glue that binds communities and individuals together. Here's why I think that respect is critical today. One, respect strengthens relationships. Whether they are personal, whether they are professional relationships, once they are built on respect, they are more likely to endure. People will feel valued and are more willing to collaborate, communicate, and offer support. Respect also reduces misunderstanding. When we respect others, we are taking time to understand their perspective, and it minimizes conflict, and we have more cases. We reduce the cases of resolving conflicts. It encourages inclusivity and diversity.
Mhm.
Practicing respect embraces difference cultures. When we respect other people's cultures, their perspective, their lifestyle, their religion, we are creating an environment where everyone feels welcome and valued. Also, it increases emotional well-being. Respecting people improves their self worth, both yours and of the other person. When we show others respect, we feel better about ourselves and its positivity radiates out. I like something you said. You said respect is being human. Human. In short, it really makes us feel heard, It makes us feel understood and valued. It opens doors and more meaningful connections. Now, finally, I would want to talk about how we can practice respect in our daily lives. It's not just a concept, it's something that can be actively practiced and cultivated. And I think that these few steps that I'm going to outline could really help us. It's active listening. It's the foundation of respectful communication. When someone is speaking, try to give them your undivided attention. Give the person also cues that you are listening. Resist the urge to check your phone or think about the response
Yes.
while they are talking. And the person who is also talking should also realize that we're in a fast-paced world today where time is everything. So what I'm going to emphasize here in active listening is balance. People need to go somewhere. Now, if you're expecting a phone call or you're expecting that important text message, do let the person know before the conversation begins that you will need to check. And so when the person sees that, the person won't feel offended. So focus on understanding their words, their feelings, their intention. For instance, the next time you have a conversation, try repeating what the person has said to ensure that you understand them properly. This shows you value their perspective. Seek first to understand. Make sure you have understood. If not in communication, it becomes noise because you wouldn't have understood it the way the person intended you to understand it. Now, next I want to talk about is respecting boundaries in communications or in anything. Everyone has personal boundaries, whether they are personal, emotional, or mental. Respecting those boundaries is crucial to building trust. Try not to interrupt, try not to invade personal space, like you have said, and always ask permission before offering advice or assistance. Yesterday, I had a case in time, and this is very um, personal, where I had a friend who didn't respect my boundaries and called me up and didn't even allow me to talk and said so many things. Now, in her view, she was trying to think for me or trying to do things for me. But I felt that she had crossed those lines. That means that she, in my view, didn't understand how to respect boundaries because she crossed those emotional boundaries, she crossed personal boundaries with me, and I felt offended. Now, what has it done? It might have breached the trust, it might have breached our relationships. Remember, our topic today is building relationships that last. By that singular action, she would have reduced the number of times I
Absolutely.
would be speaking with her because I would not want those lines to be crossed again. So if someone also needs time to be alone, don't take it personal. Respect their need for peace. And finally, on this, I would want to talk about acknowledging other people's achievements. Showing respect for other people's achievement means you're celebrating their efforts, not just yours. And I'll use a good example again. When a colleague achieves a milestone, do take personal time to genuinely congratulate them and acknowledge their hard work. It really shows respect for their accomplishment and reinforces a culture of appreciation, and
Yeah.
they know you care. Respect is about you caring. Surely you said it's about being human. So show them courtesy by respecting them. What are your values? Are your values respect? Are your values courtesy? Are your values kindness? So let's hear you, Shirley.
I loved what you said that respect is creating an environment, a positive environment, um, creating a mood. When you respect others, you create a positive mood
Mhm.
that is based on transparency, because respect is trust, as we said before. When
Yeah.
people trust you, this is success in any communication. And life is based on communication nowadays. Had it been face to face, corporate, digital. So if there is trust, there is a mood of success. And again, with what you said, that respect being human, uh, very human. I understand others. I understand. I acknowledge their boundaries. I honor their presence. So I behave accordingly.
Mm.
So honestly, respect is a means of success in so many ways. Um, Really, we've covered that part, but we need to move to around respect and the application of respect
Mm-hmm.
into through situations. What do you think of that?
I would want you to tell us the difference
Mm.
before we take questions from our audience have sent some questions in. Before we
Uh-huh.
do that, I want you to quickly take time to talk about the difference between respect and politeness.
Oh, very interesting. Respect, as I said, is a mindset, is a lifestyle, is a way of living, and it grows with you.
Mm-hmm.
Politeness is lovely. It's the icing of any on the cake, which means politeness is knowing your etiquette rules of saying please, thank you, I am polite. Politeness makes you respect people's titles, repeat their names properly, to repeat their titles properly, because I'm polite and I've done my duty of knowing how to talk to people. But is politeness able to solve toxic situations? Not good enough. Politeness
Mm.
needs mutual respect. We need both of them.
Yes, they have to be infused because surely I have met someone who would always say please and thank you for everything. Thank you, please,
And
but lacked humanity.
mhm, exactly.
Lacked
Polite,
humanity. She would say
politeness,
please, she would say thank you, but there was something that was missing in all of that, which was the humanity. And I wondered, this was a test case for me as an
mhm,
etiquette consultant. It was a test case for me. I wondered how someone could always say please, knew that it was very important to say, please, could you hand me this? Please, could you do this? Oh, thank you very much. Yet there was no humanity in the person. And that's why we say that the foundations of etiquette respect, courtesy, and kindness, and that the
absolutely.
person must be human. You must add, it is the knot that you tie together to get everything about etiquette. Now,
What I,
Shirley,
what I
I'll,
could add,
I'll go
just
on.
one word, trust and etiquette is authentic, whereas politeness sometimes could seem insincere,
Mm,
but
mm,
it's
mm.
also needed because it looks nice, but it's not as authentic as trust and, of course, respect. Yes,
Wow.
Effie?
Yes, I'll just ask you the questions that our audience asked.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, there are so many questions. We have over 16 questions here, but
Wow.
I would just take what our time permits. Um,
Absolutely.
how
Mhm.
do you handle situations where you feel disrespected without escalating conflict?
Mm. That's really very unpleasant. However, as a person, as a respectful person, please set the pace of the situation. Meaning what? Do not indulge into answering what was told to you in the same pace. Do not raise your voice if they are raising their voice. Do not attack them or counter attack them. Do not make sure that you have the last word. On the contrary, the less you talk, the more respectful you are, the better you are. So set the pace is my answer. Set the pace of the situation, of the
I would want to
conversation.
also add that handle the situation with calm and grace.
Absolutely.
Don't come down to to that person's level.
Mhm. Mm.
Now, the next question here is, what is the best way to set boundaries while still being respectful? Using my situation as the
Mhm.
situation I had yesterday as a
Absolutely.
case study.
Listen, the answer could be diverse, like setting
Mhm.
boundaries. Maybe if you get a chance with your girlfriend one day, if you care for her, you will draw her attention as to how you were hurt. However, in the same situation, setting the boundaries by giving the example. If you are transparent, you set the boundaries. If you are honest, you set the boundaries. If you respect others' freedom, you set the boundaries. So again, it's your mindset, your personality is setting the pace, giving the
And
example.
and then quickly, in 1 minute before we wrap, we start our closing statements. How does etiquette play a role in demonstrating respect in everyday interactions?
Respect, etiquette is the greatest habit that a person can develop. So creating etiquette or being part of etiquette and using it as a lifestyle, that's the way to do it.
Mm,
You're being observed by your family, you're being observed by your colleagues. So you create the atmosphere, as you said, of etiquette. And again, as I said before, etiquette is to be acquired. There are rules, but there is the official etiquette, which I am not talking about. I'm talking about the authentic etiquette, which is
right.
very capable of creating a second nature.
Wow.
And
Now,
this is
as
how it is.
to our subscribers and viewers, as we wrap up today's conversations, I want to challenge you all to reflect on how you can practice respect this week. Like we have said, respect is the foundation of etiquette. It doesn't require grand gestures, just small, consistent actions. They matter most. Whether it's by listening attentively or giving someone the benefit of the doubt, the
Mhm.
small things have the biggest impact. My challenge for you this week is make a conscious effort to practice active listening. The
Excellent.
next time you're in a conversation, put down your phone, focus on the speaker, and really engage. Ask authentic questions and see how this affects and impacts on the depth of your relationship and interactions. Remember, respect isn't something you give when it's convenient. It's a mindset. Shirley mentioned this earlier. It's a mindset you cultivate every day. It's one
Mhm.
of the most important and powerful tools we can use to improve relationships, our communities. It's a currency. Respect, I call it a currency. And even ourselves, let's practice respect to build better connections, one conversation at a time. Now
Mhm.
it's your turn. What does respect mean to you? Have you experienced a moment when respect given or received changed the course of your conversation or relationship? Call in and share your thoughts with us at Etiquette Conversations at Etiquette Conversations with Afi and Shirley at gmail.com. We are here to hear you. Some people sent in their questions and we have answered them. We will try to answer them as much as possible. Thank you for
Absolutely.
joining us again on this topic, the foundations of respect, building relationship that lasts. Together, let's make 2025 a year defined by grace, connections, and meaningful relationship. Shirley, you remember what we're talking about next week? Respect in daily interactions, small
Absolutely.
acts,
I
big
will.
impacts.
It's going to be more hands on. And do, if you have any questions or any situation that make you doubtful, do write to us before. But anyway, we're going to cover several situations in your daily life, and indeed you will find answers to any burning questions together.
Thank you very much for joining us. Same time next week. God bless you.
Thank you. Bye. See you next week.